Did you steal millions?
He was unwilling to leave, and I was unwilling to then go home. I also wanted to have then my own place and all of that stuff. So then I went into our accounts and I took what I believed was mine. You know, when you build your life around someone, you don't ever anticipate a breakup. And when the breakup comes, it's so painful, you'll do anything to take it away. You know, if my friend said, "Oh, I saw your person with so and so, Izolo," that person was out my life.
I'm trying my best not to be starstruck today.
Sugar.
And have a normal conversation that has impact and it'll touch certain virtues of people's lives. So there's something I want to try, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to continue because I know my strengths and my weaknesses.
Okay.
Ngithi kudala
Oh,
ngizula.
Nkosi yami. I didn't see that coming.
So you can continue?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Awuqale futhi sengiprepared
Ngithi
manje.
kudala ndizula ndifuna njengawe.
Daddy of my baby, you are my number one, baby.
Oh yes, my childhood was real. Thank you so much, Sister
Thank
Tumi.
you. Thank you for having me, Lungelo.
How's your heart today?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's a Friday.
Yeah.
I'm waking up to have a shoot and a great conversation with you.
Sure.
Later on, I'm performing. It's
Yeah.
how life's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It hasn't always been this way though. We spoke earlier before we started this conversation that there was a season where you just decided to disappear.
Yeah.
This happiness, you've had to work on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hibernation did a
Sestopla.
spin-off. Exactly.
Yes,
Sestopla,
yes.
which also had another 3 seasons. So
Do you remember when people found out that you and your former husband are together?
I don't think I do.
It was like a natural progression. Okay, people know and...
Yeah, it just kind of happened. And then
Yeah.
the next thing we were like, yo, Bona magazine, cover shoot, yo, true love, oh, you
And
know.
you're like, yes, please. I'll do the covers.
I was excited for the covers. I wasn't
Yeah.
excited for the private life to be out there.
Sure,
but, you
sure,
know,
sure.
it was the time. Sometimes when you're young and it just seems like, oh, well, it's the thing to do. It's an opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You were in love for a long time without obviously us knowing the details of what was happening in your home. I'm sure there were so many moments you guys celebrated commissioning shows together, gang of instrumentals, children, so many authentic, real moments. I'm sure going from one financial bracket to another together, moving from one suburb to another together, moving from low walls to high walls.
Hello.
Is this your life? I'm just telling your life story. Where does it go wrong?
Sure. Yabona manje. In retrospect, I would say we were fantastic business partners. I think the relationship or the romantic relationship, the cracks were not showing because of all of the success, you know? Because we are both so passionate and ambitious about media and we were both so multi-talented and living the dream, so to speak, I myself, I can only speak for myself, did not see when the cracks started to show, did not see the red tape or the red flags because performing all over the world was making it all better.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
The healthy bank account is
Yes,
making it all
yes.
better. And our daughters are really just so gorgeous and such a blessing. But I think when our daughter started growing, and you know, family jwang, you know, then you start paying attention to that as
Ticking
a
that
woman.
box.
Yeah, because now now you're not so in the streets at the club performing, pitching. It was more now about building a family and being serious and settling. And I think that's when personally my eyes started going, maybe this is not the place I want to be. But unfortunately, nothing ends unless it ends with an explosion.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Badly. Yes.
You're saying to me, before you got married, you felt pressure to get married because you guys weren't married from family and societal expectations. And also as a woman, you're like, okay, this is probably the next transition I must go into. But deep down, you are like, there are cracks in this romantic relationship.
Well, we didn't get married.
Ever? Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get married. I think on a personal, on a business level, we were in agreement with 90% of the time.
Sure.
But I think on a personal level, I didn't realize how not in agreement or not aligned we were because the business was doing so well. So it was only when the children were getting older that I realized that even if this man had now had to say, Are officialize it, let's be legal, I wouldn't want to walk down the aisle. So then what's the point of staying?
Why do you say if this man would say? Didn't you at any point have a conversation with him that I actually want to get married 5 years in, 10 years in? I mean, after 10 years, people are looking at you funny, especially family, and saying, why aren't you married? And for you guys, 10 years in is 30s. So it's like, they have a lot of money. Like, people complain about money, that black weddings are expensive. You guys, money is not the issue. Why didn't you initiate the conversation of, Babu Sbanmani ngicela sishade?
I did.
Okay.
That's how the cracks began to
Okay.
show. The conversation almost always ended up in a huge argument. So that's when I realized we don't both want the same thing. In the beginning, of course, I was patient. In the beginning, I also thought we are young. We were in our 20s. We met very young. And we did almost everything together. And to me, I felt that I needed to give him the opportunity to mature and for him to want this and not me pressure or put an ultimatum down. So it was a cause of much conflict in our relationship. We did break up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because of that, because I was like, hi, sister, 5 years, man.
Yes,
you haven't done. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Pick up my stuff.
Leave.
Pack
right back.
and come back. So yeah, it was that kind of yo-yo situation where you're going back and forth because you can't just switch off your feelings, even if you can see you're not in agreement. And also, he made the valid point of, what's the point? Are we not happy? We live together. We have great kids. We have all of these successes. Is marriage necessary? Is it not going to complicate, having to sign and all of those things? And I think when I was younger, I was more malleable to go, yeah, you've got a point. Everything's working. Why fix it if it's not broken? But as I got older and my children were carrying his surname and I had a different surname and everyone was just like, and when you go to your maternity ward and they're like, oh gosh, and those nurses, they have so many comments it makes you feel some type of way.
And you're popular to add on to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And every time you go to family events, they're like, Kante, ow, you know, and you're always having to come back with a story. So once I also got like exhausted with the conversation, I then realized, you know what, this is not something that is going to happen for us. And I think by the time he was ready, on my end, the damage was done. I was like, angsafuni.
What are the cracks?
Yo, Lungelo. Hey, this is a very popular man and the father of my kids. My children are going to watch this YouTube. So I have to...
With a lot of respect, yes. As we said, we'll maintain the respect.
Yeah, respectfully answer that. Look, I would say that naively, you know, as a woman, at a certain age, you must have children and get married. Prince Charming is going to come and sweep you off your feet and you're going to live happily ever after. But I think as a man, your conditioning is different.
Okay.
You are conditioned to conquer as many ladies as possible and sow your seed everywhere and make as much money as possible.
Sure.
So
the alphaness of being a man,
you know,
resides in that. Yes, I get you.
And I think I had the ultimate alpha, you know, which of course that's what attracted me to him. But those exactly got those ideologies in terms of how we conducted our lifestyles. That's what really caused the conflict or the cracks, was that I'm wanting to... Also, I think when you're young, you think being with a man means revolving your life around them.
Sure.
Which is what I did. You know, I was 19 when we met. So his friends were my friends. His family was my family. His hobbies became my hobbies. Well, we didn't have much. It was the music production, school, you know. So I think in a way, I didn't realize what I was doing, that I became an obligation rather than a choice for him, where he would rightfully be like, where are your friends? Go out.
Where's your life?
Like, do your thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, it's not fair. You're out with the boys all day and I'm sitting home with the kids. And he'd be like, yo. And at the time when we had those conversations, I thought, wow, this guy is so mean. How could he tell me to go get a life?
Sure.
I'm here for him.
Yes, I'm supposed to be his life.
Exactly. Why aren't I his best friend? He's my best friend. Why does he have an outside best friend? Why does he need to go out and be with the boys? I'm here. And that, I think, was the ignorance in me of not understanding that as a human, I am me first. I'm a person first with my own ambitions, dreams, social life, etc. And I needed to keep on enhancing that and growing in that and choose him rather than, well, sishleli single wakho, and you know. And also, I think he met me at a time where my parents had just gotten divorced and I'm an only child, so my nucleus was surrounded by them. So when that broke apart, I needed something else to attach or hold on to.
I hear you. And you needed that thing to succeed. Because not my family breaking apart, I am not going through that route.
So that was exactly it. And because my dad was so strict, I wasn't allowed to date. I didn't see boys. I wasn't the girl who's going around town. I was with my father 7 days a week, or go kerekeng, or, you know. And so what he had taught me what a man is or what a husband is someone who's going to protect and provide. So when I met him and he protected me koskolong from bullies and got me my first phone and taught me how to drive, I was like, there's my husband. And that was it. I didn't care to let the relationship unfold naturally. I made up my mind and then my mind was made up. Then I was like, okay, now I'm 26, I'm making kids. Now we're moving in now, you know. And even how we got to live together, he got a place, I went to visit
And never left. Oh, ma. I rebuke that spirit. Sokuvakashelwa. Ningangivakasheli. Asihlangane restaurant khona uspe.
So I think I never gave him much of a choice.
Sure.
In that aspect. So when time progressed, and no matter what shenanigans I heard about, I was just like, no. If my friend said, "Oh, I saw your person with so and so, Izolo," that person was out my life. Because why Moshela?
Yeah. Mina nginomuzi. I've got a house. It's ring fenced.
Exactly.
And you are the pest that's trying to destroy.
So I lost a lot of friends along the way. People who were actually just trying to protect me or make me see reality. And I was like, I don't care about your reality. My reality is he my husband. So mind your own.
Husband who's not your husband. Hey, kuyenzeka, hashtag.
Yeah, guys. Hey, shukula. You learn, you grow.
Second, third breakup. What's going on in your brain by then? Why am I still here? What type of thoughts are you in?
You know, when you build your life around someone, you don't ever anticipate a breakup. And when the breakup comes, it's so painful, you'll do anything to take it away. So him coming back was like, phew, he's realized the error of his ways. He realizes that I'm the one.
I'm the be all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for that first month, he's doing everything he said that he would to fix it. And then we go back to default settings, and then we're back there again. The conflict starts again, you break up again. It's painful. Then you go back. And also, your family, society is going, how, what do me? Ufunani? You guys have success, you have this, you have that.
Live in a
People
mansion,
respect
cars,
you.
yeah.
I mean, you travel the world. Like, what else do you want?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, yeah, Maroza, so all men do that. Yeah, but he lied to me. All men lie. What do you mean? At least I at least at least, you know what I mean? So it's like people take the worst example
to nullify your reality and your pain.
Exactly. So for a long time, I think I did it for people. I did it for the respect. I did it for, we have a power couple, we are the example. And also, out of my mother went through a divorce. I'm not, it's not going to be our family legacy. So I'm going to succeed at this. I will not fail. So each time I got back in, I came with that mentality or ethos or determination. I'm going to make it work this time.
Yeah. You were together for how many years?
16.
16 years. So when the publications were trying to rip your name apart, it was the year 16. I think it was 2019.
Yeah.
When they were having a field day with your name.
Yeah.
16 years. Sure. I would understand why after 16 years you would be like, Gege phela. Nomshada ufiki.
Well, I mean, he did come to my home. They did send a letter,
Okay.
ukuthi bazokhipha amalobolo and all of that.
Which year? Year number?
Do I remember?
14. Not 14.
Aksakubuli. I think it was between my two pregnancies.
Okay.
Yeah, so at that point, I at least felt like, okay, this
We're
is
going
happening.
somewhere. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we lost his mom.
Okay.
And then we had to give the family time to grieve. And then I think 2 years or so after, we lost his father. And then we had to give the family time to grieve as well. It was a very challenging time for the family and us.
You again defining your life by his standards.
Yes. And then once all of that kind of died down, I think what started rising inside me was a sort of resentment, which I obviously directed towards him, even though now in retrospect, it wasn't necessarily his doing, you know? He did his best to be my person. We built all of the things that we built, and it meant for me, I willingly sacrificed and compromised some of my ambitions and my dreams so that the family could thrive. So now the resentment of not being able to live in my purpose started coming up. And that's when the point of no return came, because there was just so much bitterness inside me. I think I just became an ugly person because...
Probably even in your conduct towards him.
And towards other people. I mean, you can imagine now we have a record company, we have buildings, we have a production house, we have a staff of people that I'm supposed to manage, and I'm in this dark, ugly state, you know. Obviously, I'm walking in. I'm not motivated to work. I'm sitting in the boardroom wishing I could be on set acting. I'm sitting in a meeting with the accountants, busy with contracts and budgets, when I want to be recording music, you know? So I think the choices that I made, it was easier for me to not look at myself and look at him and be like, yeah, because of you, I'm not doing the things that I want to do, and you're getting to do the things that you want to do. And by the time I was in that space, there was nothing he could say to quell the fire, you know. I think I just needed to self-actualize, which is something I never gave myself the opportunity to do. I went straight from listening to my mom and dad and my teachers to now listening and collaborating with him, and my own internal conflict was like, okay, girl, who are you? What do you want? You know, and you know your body knows your purpose. So you are in that constant internal fight. Yeah, and then once I exploded, I was like, who am I? And yeah, I changed my number and packed up the kids and went back home.
What's an explosion? What does it look like?
For me, it was crying. It was just being rebellious, you know, knowing that we have a pitch at 8 o'clock today and everyone needs the presentation by 10 o'clock last night.
Sure.
And at 7:30, I'm still busy with it, you know. Just being rebellious. All the things that my father, or I know he would not appreciate, or the pillars that we believed our relationship are built on, for me to just be like, I'm going to do it, you know? I'm going to go out all night with my friends. So what? So...
Because now I can finally have friends. In the rebellion, you're like, no, I'm trying to find myself, so leave me alone. This is what I like to do.
Exactly.
I have all the money to do it.
So I'm going to do what I want to do, you know. We have a pitch that we're all supposed to prepare for, that the staff is sitting in...
Kholwa emandleni onawo.
Oh my, we're finally doing this. What does EYL Africa represent? It's about standing in your power. It's about, in isiZulu, it's Kholwa emandleni onawo, which is our tagline. You will see it on the back of my t-shirts. It's about believing in the power that you have, believing in the power that your God, your guides have invested in you. Shop our socks, shop our t-shirt, and just keep believing in yourself. EYL Africa.
Now available on EYLshop.Africa.